Hello again, and so it's Christmas season already. Time for partying, to think that we will think later about those calories. Time, of course, for shopping, and shopping really is what Christmas is mostly about these days for most people anyway. And for those of us headed to India about this time of the year and thinking of shopping there, time to think again of those pieces of printed paper that once were money. Just what can be done about those? Let's start with the pocket and the purse. That's where most things start anyway. Mr. Kaza, not unlike many of us, I have these 500 and 1,000 rupee notes.
Yeah.
Is this a dead loss to me?
No, it's not dead loss if you are an NRI and in UK. You cannot, of course, have the currency notes replaced at the airport. That has been stopped totally. Cannot be replaced at the branch level. But
so when I arrive at the airport in India, I'll be penniless or paisaless?
No, you can convert your pound sterling into rupees up to 4,000 rupees. So you'll not be penniless, you'll have money enough to take a cab home. And
4,000 rupees doesn't take you far in India, but what next?
Well, you can also pay for the hotel room, hopefully for a bed and breakfast. But the rest of the money that you're carrying
Simple
with you...
Simple lifestyle, yes, but carry on.
The rest of the money that you're carrying with you, you can deposit in the bank. And the banks accept any amount of money you can deposit in the bank for that matter. But if you're an NRI who's staying in UK, you're normally expected to bring only 25,000 rupees when you're going out of India to UK.
Now,
so
so if I go to India, I will take this money, I'll get 4,000 rupees maximum at the airport by way of converting pound sterling. Then I go to my bank branch in India.
Correct.
Then I hand in that money, and how soon will they give me the new notes?
They'll give you the new notes immediately, up to 24,000 rupees per week.
So 24,000 a week?
Yeah.
Right. But you say there's a maximum of 25,000 you can take out of India. So we have to work within that limit as well.
Yeah, 25,000 was what was permitted earlier. So that if you came out in October, you could take out 25,000 rupees for your immediate expenses when you go back. This is the amount of money that you're going to carry back to India. You could also be carrying money for your own friends and relatives who will be giving you a letter of authorization and also their ID. And you can deposit their money in their accounts in India. These monies can be deposited only in the NRO accounts. And your money you can withdraw up to 24,000 rupees per week.
You know, we have about 1.5 million Indians in the UK officially, maybe 1.8 million. Add another at least 250,000 across Europe. You could be looking at 1.5 to 2 million.
Right.
On average, it's very likely that someone will have about 10,000 rupees to handle expenses when you arrive in India. So what kind of money are we talking about that is sitting in 500,000 rupee notes in the UK and Europe?
So
how much?
Converted to millions of pounds, it will come to about 100 million pounds.
So there's 100 million pounds worth of money in those old 500,000 rupee notes in the UK and Europe.
All of which may not be in 500,000 rupee notes, it could also be in 100 rupees, 10s and 5s. But even assuming that the entire amount is in 500 and 1,000 rupee notes, the entire money can be taken back legally into India and deposited.
It is in total a fairly significant amount. We are talking about upwards of 100 million pounds.
Yes.
Now, what is the government going to do about this, and what are people going to do about this?
Yeah, but this money was permitted for you to be taken out of India only for immediate expenses because you're a regular traveller. It's not a bonus given by government of India.
No, it's not a bonus. It's your own money.
Yeah, correct.
What you want in India to convert it, but it's your own money.
Correct.
So
it's legal tender.
Yeah, no, legal tender, but not anymore. It's now waste paper. That legal tender is now waste paper.
Immediate expenses. You can send it back through your friend. You can send it back through your relative. You can open an NR account to one of the branches here who will facilitate that and have the money deposited in India.
But it's a long and complicated haul to get that little money back. A lot of people may think it's not worth it.
I know. Two things in this. One, if you think it's a little money, which it is for a lot of people who have 1,000 rupees, 2,000 rupees, they probably won't bother about it. Like we are not bothered when we had euros, for example. We carried euros when we went to India, and later on we were found that it was only charity money when we come back to UK. That went waste with us. Same thing whenever there is a demonetization this way. Some people do lose their currency notes.
Now, what if people don't have an account in India?
Yeah.
What if someone is just traveling to India and back without a bank branch that they go to in India? And there are a lot of people like that, and there are travelers. This is the peak tourist season. So if you don't have an account in India, then what?
The people who don't...
I mean, when you arrive in India, will you have enough rupees to see you through without depending entirely on plastic?
One, you can use your own debit cards that you carry from UK. You can use your credit cards. And in India now, when you open
to withdraw money, to withdraw cash?
No, you can withdraw the local money to withdraw the cash up to about 2,500 rupees.
A day?
A day in ATM. Okay. But when you open the NRI account now, what the banks have done is they give you immediately a customized card, by which you can withdraw the money. So it's not
Yes,
that
but all that's about opening an account. If you don't have an account, if you're, say, a tourist, say I am going to see the Taj Mahal.
Correct.
Then
If
I
you're a
take
tourist-
the debit card and convert up to 2,500 a day. That means I queue every day to get 2,500.
If you are a tourist and if you're going for the first time, you are at par. This demonetization will not affect you at all. So you'll be going with your own credit cards, debit cards, converting cash at the counters and going about it in the normal way. Most tourists have their holidays all booked up and spend very little money, and you can and very few of them will be going to places where currencies are to be exchanged, where you can always use a debit card or a credit card.
So this being peak tourist season, that will not be affected very significantly, you think, by this?
Yes, it won't be affecting the tourists at all.
Right. Now, what is the benefit of this?
The benefit is, of
End
course,
of black money in India?
no, it won't. None of these moves will ever spell the end of black money. Black money is money that is not accounted for, that is not taxed, is not coming back to the government's kitty. That I'm sure it's going on all over the world, wherever, even countries where there are no currency notes and only when they have only checks and only credit cards. The main idea of this is digitalization, demonetization of this 500,000 rupee notes and introduction of 2,000 rupees, so that you have 2,000 rupees to carry on the business for the time being. We don't know, of course, how long that will be there in around, but you'll be digitalizing the economy.
You mean there's a chance that those might be negated?
We don't know what happened to the 2,000 rupees, how long it will be there. But you'll be there. If it's there for the time being, you can carry on in your transactions.
But do you
But the
have
idea-
some indications that they may be cancelled at some
No,
stage?
it's my personal thinking, looking at the way things are, that you want to cut down the amount of currency notes in the market. The way is not to have more and more higher notes. The higher notes have been brought about to keep the economy going. But the effect of this will be that the insurgency finance will be stopped. The money that is there floating around with 500 and 1,000 rupees, the money is now rendered
How
useless.
significant is
The
this?
estimates are that it's in about 1,500 crores.
So when we say insurgency
that's-
money, well, we don't have to have many guesses where that comes from. Say the ISI would have, deposited 500,000 rupee notes with its agents, and they would have been using it for this, that, and the other. So they are now penniless, and they can't go to a bank.
Yeah, they are null and void, they can't go to the bank. Another is money that comes in for drugs. Drugs, it starts off with small currency just like any other country. It's not in 500 and 1,000 rupee notes.
And drugs is a big problem in Punjab.
Yeah, in Punjab, yes, but the money actually goes back. It always goes back in large amounts. Just like in the West, you don't find smaller denominations being carried back to US.
So do you think the
bigger
happy
currency
fallout
notes.
of this could be that the drugs problem in Punjab could be contained?
Could be will be minimized. I mean, you can't stop a habit in the way of stopping 500 and 1,000 rupee notes. But
There's
there are
no way
ways
you
of
can go and buy the
minimizing it.
drug. You just can't go and buy it anymore.
Exactly, that's one thing for the time being at least. One. Two, all the counterfeit notes that are there, which has become a fairly big problem from what I hear in bank branches. People are paying quite a bit of price for it, because when the 500 rupee note is found through the hands of the cashier, he has to pay from his own pocket. That will stop for the time being. Until others, the counterfeiters, come to a stage where they are in a position to counterfeit these notes and then bring them back into the economy.
But a lot of the poor people in India do not have bank accounts, or if they do, they use them for minimal savings. Most of their work is done. The hawker, the fellow selling boiled eggs in the winter and who is selling sort of fruits and vegetables in the summer, they work on rupees. They have been hit badly. So on balance, has there been a humanitarian damage done by this move that may be greater than the benefit?
There's a very interesting concept called something that is done for greater good, that you're going to get long-term benefits. The long-term benefits will be that it will reduce inflation, it will reduce also the cost of living. Prices are bound to come down by this, which have already come down in some sectors. And that benefit will also come down to the fellow who sells bananas on the road.
But it's very hard to kick a poor man in the stomach and say it's for your long-term good.
But see, when we are talking about 1.2 billion people, some people are going to be hit more, some people are going to be hit less. People who have got probably
And the ones with money will be hit less.
The guys who have got thousands of crores in 500 and 1,000 rupee notes, if you can't do anything with it, they are hit the hardest. That money won't come into the market. It won't spoil the economy. And this has been accepted by Indians. They have never seen any. People have stood in queues very patiently, more patiently than you find people standing in queues in London.
That is remarkable.
That's remarkable, because
All over India,
Yeah.
people forming queues spontaneously. There's not been one case of a riot in a queue. Now that is quite remarkable.
See, in India,
It puts London to shame.
I know. In most cases, what has happened is that these people have understood that it has been done for their own good. They are waiting patiently for the money and for the replacement of their currency notes. People have been convinced on their own. The government has not gone ahead and spent huge amount of money, like in Brexit, to convince people about the good of this. They announced it overnight.
Well, that will be the day when the British learn from India how to queue.
Yeah.
So is that a statement in itself of
Yes.
popular acceptance?
It's a popular
Without
acceptance.
the pundits, leaving the pundits and the economists and these television discussions out of this, the fact that people have stood in that queue, formed a queue to begin with, and then waited.
All
day
that
after
government
day
has
after
done
day.
is to issue one page notification for that and circulated it in several places. They have not spent millions of rupees or billions of rupees in trying to convince people, in trying to educate people about the good of that will bring to them in the long run.
But don't you think corruption really is about a mindset and a certain culture? Given time, the old ways will start again, and perhaps in not very much time.
You're right. Corruption is definitely a mindset. Corruption is a question of habit. Corruption is a question of convention. Like Mamul, unless you give some money, something will not work. But then it will probably take different forms and different shapes like it has done in different countries. But at least for the time being, you brought some benefit for the people. It will take some time for the people to catch up with their old ways and find out new methods of hiding money, and which Government of India now is taking steps like calling for Swiss bank accounts, their details.
Yes, but that's been going on for a while, and that finally is the big question. A lot of black money is not held in
India
cash.
itself,
It's in gold,
assets.
it is in property, it's in Benami shares, and it is sent abroad. Who's going to crack the money sent abroad? And you worked as a banker in India, you worked as a banker in London, you worked on both sides of that divide, not that it's a very strong divide. So how will that money be taken back? And it's not just Swiss accounts, it's here in London,
It's
in
here in
UK.
London, so quite a few accounts have been frozen. Quite a few people are going around this city, as you know, names not necessary, who are there with black money, white money. The only way to catch these people will be the next step. Now, once you have done this, corruption in India is going to be minimized. Corruption abroad will be the next step in 2017.
Do you think this will be a stepping stone?
It's only a stepping stone.
Stronger action against illegal and black money held by Indians abroad?
Correct. That will be the next step.
Because every Indian who makes a lot of money
Correct.
shadily somehow comes abroad. You can even buy your visa abroad.
I know.
Simple as that. It's official. So that they will be the next target.
That will be the next step. That will be the next target.
Is that your suspicion or your hope or your belief?
It's my belief because that's how most countries have gone about it. And even this country, we are going about it slowly because a large number of people already have. Whereas in India, it's a minuscule of persons who have these accounts in Swiss banks and in Panama for that matter.
Well, we hope the government is listening, and we hope the government doesn't need to and is acting on those lines. Thank you very much, Mr. Kaza, for talking
Thank you
to
very
us.
much. Nice talking to you. Thank you.
So there is some fractional hope in a roundabout sort of way. Time for a quick break now, and then there will be something we must remember. Welcome back. Now, Christmas has brought some unexpected cheer to workers at Tata Steel, particularly in Wales, and they certainly can go partying and shopping.
Tata Steel workers who had been expecting to be unemployed by the end of the year are now set for some fun and feasting over Christmas, after the announcement that Tata will invest money to save jobs and production. Steel workers say it is no coincidence that this decision has come following the departure of Cyrus Mistry as the head of Tata. Unions have welcomed the decision even though there is some uncertainty over the hugely expensive pension scheme. But workers have been told they will have to make some sacrifices in order to keep their jobs going. The Tata announcement is reported to have come after firm assurances of support from the British government. The biggest production centre at Port Talbot was running losses of up to £1 million a day. Those losses have been cut down and the plant has also had a profitable stretch. About 4,000 of the total Tata Steel workforce of 7,000 in the UK is in Port Talbot. New life for the plant there now means new life for the town.
There is a new glint of hope in the world of steel in Britain. Britain celebrates Christmas now, but it also marks Remembrance Day when it salutes its fallen and its war heroes. India is not so good at doing that, at remembering its own. Manju Lodha is trying to change that.
India has war memorials at India Gate in Delhi and at several other places. But Indians are still not so good at remembering and honouring their war heroes as are the British. India does not have the equivalent of Remembrance Day in Britain. Manju Lodha set out to fill the gap with a book honouring India's war heroes. Its pages tell an untold story.
My new book is Param Vir, a war diary. It is the highest samman we are giving to our soldiers. It is just like a Victoria Cross in the Britain.
The book was inspired by a memorial to soldiers featuring the famous song sung by Lata Mangeshkar, "Ae Mere Watan Ke Logon."
ए मेरे वतन के लोगों का जो गाना है उसको 50 साल पूरे हो रहे थे, तो हमारे लोढ़ा फाउंडेशन ने एक भव्य पैमाने पर एक कार्यक्रम किया जिसमें 1.5 लाख जनता उपस्थित थी। इसके साथ ही हमारे देश के कोने कोने से हमारे ये सारे सैनिक और उनके परिवार के लोग भी उपस्थित थे। स्वयं प्रधानमंत्री जी उपस्थित थे, लता दीदी उपस्थित थी जिन्होंने इस गाने को गाया, और कवि प्रदीप जिन्होंने इस गाने को लिखा, उनकी बेटी भी उपस्थित थी। और हम सब लोगों ने मिलकर इस गाने को एक में एक स्वर में गाया। और जब कार्यक्रम का समापन हुआ और मैं इन सब वॉर हीरोज़ से मिली, उनके परिवार वालों से मिली, तो उनकी जो खुशी थी एक अलग तरह की खुशी थी जिसे मैं अभिभूत हो गई और मुझे लगा कि मुझे इनके बारे में लिखना चाहिए।
Manju Lodha finds it tragic that India's greatest heroes remain unsung. She believes India must learn from the British in this respect.
मैं यही चाहती हूँ कि मेरा हमेशा से ये मानना रहा है कि हमारे जो असली नायक हैं वो हमारे ये सैनिक हैं। अगर ये सैनिक नहीं होते तो हम नहीं होते, हमारा देश नहीं होता, हमारा अस्तित्व नहीं होता। इन सैनिकों की वजह से ही हम चैन की नींद सोते हैं। इसलिए इस बार मैं भी एक कोशिश कर रही हूँ कि इन सैनिकों के, जिस तरह से ब्रिटेन के हर चौराहे पर मैंने देखा, हर बगीचे के बाहर किसी न किसी सैनिक का स्टैच्यू है, इसी तरह से हम चाहते हैं कि हमारे देश में भी इसी तरह से सैनिकों के स्टैच्यू बने, उनके नीचे उनके बारे में लिखा जाए ताकि हमारी आने वाली पीढ़ी, और आने वाली पीढ़ी क्यों, हम जो अभी जीवित हैं वो भी उनके बारे में नहीं जानते, वो उनके बारे में जान सकें।
With Sanjay, Suri in London, this is Vaibhav Verma for News 18.
We must not forget, not in the season of merrymaking, not in any other. We have been talking of partying for a while. Let's go and join a party. It could be one of so many. Say, the Conservatives in Hounslow.
The pre-Christmas party season is in full swing this month. Just about every organisation and every office is holding a Christmas party. And many of the Christmas events of mainstream organisations are finding an Indian touch, like the annual ball of the Brentford Conservatives in West London.
We're doing a fundraiser and we're inviting the local community to join us today, and you can see we have full house. So we have a cross section of community members from all parts of the, there's English, there's Indians, there is Muslims, there's Sikhs. Everybody has come to celebrate this occasion, and we have wonderful dances provided by our Indian community.
Kathak is not what is traditionally associated with Christmas in Britain, but it is a measure of just how far Indians have come in Britain when Conservative Party members sit down to watch Kathak and Bharatnatyam for Christmas. The dances were entertainment, but their inclusion was a political statement as well.
If you look at it, all the data, you see Asians, Indians especially, are quite high in the studies. You see a lot of doctors in NHS are Indians, a lot of engineers are Indians. So they make quite a good proportion of the community here. And that shows in these kind of functions that, when we're doing a conservative event, a lot of conservative members who are actually highly professionals are in these kind of functions. So they also like to see not only English things, they also like to see their own Bharatnatyam and a dance and a taste for the Western people.
But it was not all as highbrow as Kathak and Bharatnatyam. The Bhangra beat had everyone on the floor dancing to the same tune and the same rhythm. And in the end, it was time after a hard year for the Conservatives to just let go and have some fun.
Well, this is very important because we always have an annual do. Last year we had it as a Diwali function and everybody really enjoyed it. That was our first Diwali function we had. And this year we didn't have a Diwali function due to various reasons because I was away. So we decided to have a winter ball to invite everybody because this is our let down, let your hair down and enjoy yourself. And that's what it's all about today. So it's not about politics, it's not about anything, it's just about enjoying yourself.
I think it's very crucial to have a social gathering in the form of a political function as well, because with the Brexit happened, people have, even with the Conservative Party, people have different views. Some wanted to exit, some didn't want to exit. So there was a sort of a divide. And this kind of event like Diwali, Christmas, they bring everyone together, and it's a place where we can put aside our differences, enjoy the best, eat, and at the same time, this is an event where East is also meeting the West.
With Sanjay, Suri in London, this is Vaibhav Verma for News 18.
That's one way, of course, of dealing with the calories same day as the party. Bye for now, and don't forget to go and buy something for Britain's good, if not your own. See you soon.